a halfway house situation there. A call was made to me. For her to enter a halfway house situation, she had to have a car because the nearest place of employment was 25 miles away.
Yeah, well, that's not her perception, and I'm just telling you, perception's reality. She says she's pushed the daddy button again, and he comes through, gives her $30. She leaves rehab, and then she says you gave her a hotel to stay in for 5 days because you said she needed to get some rest after being in this last rehab that didn't really do much good for her, which obviously it didn't because she was back on drugs again. She fails drug test, and then she winds up staying with you on your yacht. She leaves there and gets a DUI going to see you.
Correct.
She goes into jail. Did you bail her out?
I got a call from Donna.
Did you bail her out?
What happened? She asked that I help. I got down there, and the next morning she came out.
You bailed her out. I told you not to bail her out.
She was not staying on my yacht. It's a sailboat. There's workmen on it. It was not a pleasant place.
Did you bail her out?
I bailed her out.
Okay. That's all I was asking.
Okay.
Appreciate the update on the sailboat, but I was just curious if you bailed her out.
Yes, I did.
You bailed her out.
Yes,
So every time this girl does what she does, then you give her a soft place to fall because you love her. I get it. I've always said, Roger, we're only as happy as our saddest child. I get it. I really do. You are well-intentioned and horribly misguided. And if you don't change what you're doing, you didn't put her on drugs, you're not responsible for her being on drugs, but you have become part of the problem. You are not part of the solution. And I don't want you to be sitting in the front pew at her funeral with these words echoing in your head. He told me to stop allowing this to happen. He told me that I was not assisting her. He told me I was making it possible for her to do drugs because she knows she's performing with Annette. Whatever happens, however bad it gets, she knows she can push the daddy button and she's out of there. I can hit the daddy button and he loves me and he feels bad about where I am and he will not leave me twisting in the wind. So I can do what I want to do. That's the dynamic. And let me tell you something. She started using drugs at 15 for sure. It seems to me it was 13 in the basement, but 15 where she was hitting it pretty good for sure. Now, y'all said you didn't know when she started using drugs. And at 20, you knew for sure. Yeah. So that means for either 5 or 7 years, this girl is using drugs, and nobody seems to be putting this on their radar. I assume that's why you're all parenting from guilt. Let me tell you what happens when a girl starts using drugs at 13, 14, or 15. Her emotional development is arrested at that point. Her brain, when you put this infusion of drugs into a developing brain, she has brain damage. Some of it is recoverable, some of it is not. Her self-esteem is on the floor. Her self-worth is on the floor. Her maturity is arrested at a very elementary level. And she's walking around with an inefficient brain. We need to deal with her accordingly. We're talking about a child here. I don't care if she's 25, 35, or 45. You're dealing with an emotional child here. And if you continue to love her, finance her, just know, I'm telling you straight up, you are loving and financing her to death. It is not what she needs from her father. She needs leadership, and she needs to be held to a standard from which she cannot shy. And that is not happening. All right, we got to take a break. We're going to find out why Jordan may never get clean when we come back.